Hey, what's up? So this is the pre-calculus review 2, the nth root and the rational exponents. The homework for the even numbers. So you guys gonna be responsible for the odd numbers. Let's get started. So on the page A92, you got the first question, number 12. So this is the fourth root. So if it's a fourth root, what I recommend you guys to do is to write this the radicand 16 into the factors of the same numbers. So you can write it as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So multiply itself 4 times. And then the radical is a fourth root. So that tells me that number 4 tells you the underlying 4 of the same numbers. Circle 1 and then cancel the rest. Bring the 1 out, bring the one you circle out. So you have 2 fourth root, and then the radicand just have nothing left, so it's just 1. Okay, so basically you don't have to write fourth root of 1, you can just write 2 as your answer. So for 54, you know that this is a square root. So understand that a square root means that there's an invisible 2. Okay, you don't need to write this 2. Okay, but understand that it's going to be underlining 2 of the same terms, and then circle 1, cancel the other one. Okay, all right, so let's write down the factor tree of 54, so we can write the factors of 54. I should say prime factors. So it's 9 times 6, and then 9 is 3 times 3, and then 6 is 3 times 2. So you can write that as 3 times 3 times 3 times 2. Okay, all right, so underline 2 of the same terms because this is the square root. Okay, the index number is a 2. So for the 3 and 2, you can't really do anything. Okay, so it's just a single number by itself. We need 2 of the same. Okay, circle 1, cancel the rest, bring this one out. So for the square root answer is going to be 3 square root of 3 times 2. That's going to be 6. All right, for number 26, looks a little complicated. So I'm going to break this down into two different cube root. Okay, we have a cube root here. All right, so first thing you want to know is that in the past, if we learn a negative, as you have a negative radicand, you're gonna get imaginary if it's a square root. Okay, as a matter of fact, every time when you guys see a negative in the even number of root, you're gonna get imaginary. But this is an odd number. Okay, so you're actually gonna get a solution that's not imaginary. You're gonna get a real number. Okay, so this is what you need to break down. So I'm gonna write in two different cube root. So I'm gonna take out the -1 from the -40. So this one I'll put 40 x to the 14th power, y to the 10th power. Okay, understand that -1, you can rewrite that as -1 times -1 times -1. Okay, for the other one, cube root of 40. So 40 is, you use the factor tree, it's going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. For the x's, we got 14 of them. So you just have to, I'm gonna show you guys the fundamental way. So I'm gonna put a bunch of x's. So I'm gonna put 14 of them. Okay, so that's 14 of them. And then for the y's, there are 10 of them. Okay, hope I'm not, hopefully I won't be running out of space. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna underline 3 of the same terms, circle 1, cancel the rest, bring the one that I circle out, and I'm gonna do for 2, and then the x's. Oops. Well, yeah. So underline the y's. Okay, and then start counting which are the ones that you circle. So I circle a -1 right here, so I have a -1. So multiply by, circle the 2, so times 2, and then just start counting how many x's I circle out. So I got 4 x's. and I got 3y's, and then this is a cube root, and then what's remain is here. These are the remaining radicants for the cube root. Okay, so it's going to be 5x squared y. Okay, so I'm going to multiply everything out. So this is going to equal to negative 2x to the 4th power y cubed, and then cube root of 5x squared y. Okay, so that's your answer. A little crazy, but totally doable, right? So let's look at number 68. This is going to be a rational exponents. So understand that the 2 is the root. Okay, so that's going to be second root, which is square root. And then the top number is the exponent. So you can rewrite this as 4 and then square root to the 3rd power. Okay, so square root of 4 is 2. Okay, to the 3rd power, which equals to 8. For number 74, understand that there is a negative exponent. So negative is going to make the reciprocal of 16. It's going to be 1 over 16. Okay, to the 3 over 2. 2 is the square root. So you basically square root 1. Okay, let's not be stupid. You know, square root 1 is 1. Okay, so square root of 16 is about to be 4. Okay, I'll try to save some space. Now I'll just have the exponent of 3. That's from the numerator. Okay, I already deal with the denominator too. All right, so now you just cube the 1 and 4. You're gonna have 1 over 64. So let's go over the next one. So similar type of problem. So now you're gonna have a cube root. Okay, so you're gonna cube root the 27. You're gonna cube root the 8, and then you're gonna have to square everything. Okay, that's from numerator. All right, so cube root of 27 is 3. Cube root of 8 is 2. And you square the denominator and the numerator. That's going to give you 9 over 4. Okay. All right, the next one, just make sure that you understand that this negative is, well, I shouldn't say that. Okay, so let's start over. Okay, so negative 3 over 4. This is the exponent on only the 81. Okay, not including the negative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the reciprocal first. Okay, so I'm always going to keep that parentheses. Okay, so it's going to be 3/4, but this time it's going to be 1 over 81 because the negative exponent. Okay, so you're going to have the reciprocal like I told you earlier. And now you have the 4th root. Okay, so negative 1 over, and then you do the 4th root of 81. Okay, so you know that 81, let's put down the side. So 81 is 9 times 9, and then 9 is 3 times 3, and then 3 times 3. So 81 is 3 multiplied itself 4 times. Okay, so blah, 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 underline, circle 1, cancel the rest. Okay, so what you're going to get here is you're going to have 1 over 4. Oh, what am I saying? 1 over 3. Stupid. Okay, to the 3rd power. Okay, so you're going to get negative 1 over 27 as your answer. All right, so number 84. So number 84, if you multiply them, you're going to have to add the exponents. So this time is going to be a bunch of fractions adding each other up. Okay, so you're adding a negative, you're about to be having a subtraction there. All right, so you're gonna have to find a common denominator, or I should call it the least common denominator. Okay, so x least common least common denominator is going to be 12, so you can rewrite all the fractions. Denominator equals to 12. So like that. Okay, so you just add them up. You're going to find out it's x to the 11 over 12. Okay, you can write that in the roots, in radicals. So it's going to be x to the 11th power, and it's 12th root. Okay. Next, so you're able to distribute the 3/4 to x and y. So that gives you x to the 4 times 3/4 times y to the 8 times 3/4. Okay, so all you need to do is just multiply everything out and you get the answer. So you have x to the 3rd and then y to the 6th power. Okay, so let's look at number 88 this time. So 88 looks a little complicated. Okay, so what you're going to do first is you're able to distribute the 1/4. So it's x to the 1/4, y to the 1/4, and then distribute the 1/2. So 2 times 1/2 is about to be 1. So it's basically x to the 1st power with y to the 1st power. Okay, and then now we're going to distribute the 3/4. So it's going to be x to the 2 times 3/4 is going to be 3/2, and then y times, well, 1. The exponent is 1, so 1 times 3/4 is going to be 3/4. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to combine the numerators, the like terms up. Okay, so what's going to happen here is you got x, oops, wrong color. Okay, so you got x to the 1/4 times x to the 1st power. So we're going to add them up. So 1/4 plus 1 is going to be 1/4 plus 4 over 4. Okay, so it's about to be 5 over 4. Okay, so I'm just going to write x to the 5 over 4. So it's the same thing for the y. So it's going to be 5 over 4. Okay, so over x to the 3/2, y to the 3/4. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to rewrite this. Let's see, the 3/2 with the same denominator, so that's going to be 6 over 4. Okay, and now I'm going to rearrange it. I'm going to bring all the like terms together. I'm going to bring the x to the 5 over 4 to the bottom, and I'm going to bring the y to the 3/4 to the top, so I can just combine all the like terms. Okay, so what that's gonna do is you're gonna have y to the 5/4 times y to the 3/4. Basically what's gonna happen is that it's gonna be negative 3 over 4. So what's gonna happen is that you combine them, so you can basically just have one fraction to subtract the other. Okay, all right, so just gonna subtract 3 over 4, and then I brought down the okay, I changed that to a 6 over 4, and I brought down the 5 over 4, so it's gonna become negative 5 over 4. Okay, so you just subtract 6 over 4 minus 5 over 4. Okay, so it's gonna be y to the 2/4 over x to the 1/4, and then 2/4 is basically 1/2. Okay, so that's your answer. You can write that in the radical form. Number 90. So first thing you want to do is you want to distribute the 3/2 to all the terms. 3/2 to all the terms. Okay. All right. So 4 to the 3/2, and then x to negative 1. So negative 1 times 3/2, so x to the negative 3/2, and then so 1/3. So for this one, 1/3 times 3/2, it's going to be 1/2. So y to the 1/2 here. Okay, let me erase that. Looks a little annoying. All right, so on the bottom is going to be x to the 3/2 and then y to the 3/2. So That's just arrange everything. So it depends on how you want to arrange this. Don't matter. So I'll bring this down. Okay, bring these down. And then let's evaluate this one. So this is basically saying square root of 4 and cube it. Okay, so that's going to be 8. So numerator only has 8 left. On the bottom, you got x to the 3 halves times another x to the positive 3 halves. So you're about to add them up. So 3 halves plus 3 halves. And then on the bottom is going to be y to the 3 halves. And then you bring down the 1 half, so you're going to be subtracting 1 half there. Okay, so you got 8 over x to the 6 over 2 is basically 3. So it's about to be x cubed. And then 3 halves subtract 1 half is going to be 2 over 2. So it's going to be 1. Okay, you don't actually have to write 1. Okay, so that's going to be your answer right there. Okay, so I just went over all the even numbers, and then go ahead and do the odd numbers now. Peace.